What's up, Sparks fans? A game that we thought that we could have just didn't happen. As the Sparks fall 80-74 against the Washington Mystics. Rakia started off playing amazing, but the Mystics found a way to slow her down. And a lot of bad things happened in the fourth quarter. We're here to talk about it. Michael Matthew with Sparks Weekly, LA Sparks Weekly, that is. And we thank you for tuning in. We got a lot of fun stuff for you. Hey, stay locked in. So we are here to have so much fun, even though it's a very sad moment right now with the Sparks losing once again 80-74 on the road against the Washington Mystics. But I am not alone. And guess what? She's back. The one and only DJ Tracy Treats. What's up, DJ?
Not much. What is good? I'm glad to be back. Like you said, it's tough. It's a tough year to be a Sparks fan, man. But I'm ready to talk about what's happening today.
So the Sparks lose, dropping them to 6-23. They lose to another team. That was the matchups of the 6-22.
Battle of the bottom.
Battle of the bottom. And the Sparks is bottomed out as they fall this game. It looked promising early. It looked like Rakia might have her career night. Like I mentioned before, 16 points in the first half. But she ended up with only 17.
Yep.
The Mystics did a great job of taking her away there in the second half. What did you see with this matchup tonight?
I saw that the Mystics are trying their best to salvage their season just like we are, right? Okay. So it's interesting to see a team that's equally yoked as us. They just lost another player. Maisha just, I think she went to the Lynx. The Mystics, they got one of their players. So they lose a top player, somebody who's really big in the paint, and it looks like we have an opportunity to capitalize, but we just can't get it done today. De'Erica Hamby didn't really play like she normally does. I think if she had 4 or 5 more points, a little bit more momentum, the game would have shifted. I think everybody just needed to play a little bit better today. My disappointing moment of it was I think we saw Zaya too late.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. If we had saw Zaya at halftime come in.
7 points, 6 minutes. She's instant offense. Like, that's why I'm like, why isn't she playing, especially when you see Crystal, who started. Shout out to Crystal Dangerfield.
Yeah, she did.
She has had some moments. But today, 2 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds in 16 minutes with a team that I don't know what they expect from inside there, but from the outside looking in, it's a team that you don't expect to win anything. I'm still baffled why the focus isn't on let's just see the young players play to see what we have, because Zaya came in, pull-up jumpers, you know, another pull-up jumper, get to the free throw line, doing some nice thing.
Yep.
Ray, who played 13 minutes, had 8 points, 4 rebounds, an assist there, an athletic player. She was being aggressive. But at the end of the day, players have to play better. De'Erica Hamby, who we've been giving praise all throughout this show all year long, since the Olympic break, hasn't looked the same. Before, it was like it's a for sure MVP vote, maybe even 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's dwindling down to where she may not get one if she continues playing the way that she is. She only had 9 points, 10 rebounds. And when you say only, it's because this person was playing, you know, Hamby was scoring 18 points, 10, 11 rebounds, to where she was looking like one of the better top 15 players in the league, to where now you're seeing some struggle. Do you think playing in the Olympics, what she's dealing with the case, is that taking a toll on De'Erica Hamby?
I just think she tired. The team been on her back all season. And now they on the road again. I'm sure there's a lot that has to do with fatigue, especially playing 3-on-3 in the Olympics. She wasn't even playing the regular 5-on-5 where you get the little bit of a relaxed time. You playing these hardcore 10-minute runs with the best, some of the top players of 3-on-3 in the
basketball.
world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I just remember seeing her story when she was at the Olympics on Instagram, and she pouring Epsom salt the whole bag in the bathtub, and I can't help but feel like that's what she feel like after every game.
Yeah.
Another thing is like Odyssey Sims is a hardship player.
Yes.
She played 23 minutes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Give Zaya half of those minutes, and maybe we see some more offensive push. That's just me just thinking of different options, because if we notice that it's not working with some of these players and they 15 minutes in and they got 2 points, pull the plug.
Pull the plug. And that's why I wish that coach would say, let me listen to what they got to talk about today on Ellie Sparks Weekly, Mike Kell and DJ, because if it was up to me, I would be like, let me listen to them one game. I'm going to play these young players, give them big-time minutes, probably play 8 players. Think about the players who are going to be back next year.
Yeah.
You got De'Erica Hamby. She's going to be back.
Yep.
Azarae, who re-signed. Stephanie Talbot, who re-signed. She's going to be back. And then Rakia, who's going to be back. Other than that, I'm like looking at Lee. I'm looking at Zaya. I'm looking at Ray. I'm force-feeding them minutes just to see what the hell can you do if I trust in you, and see exactly what can happen, because Zaya is a fire starter. She's been that since high school. She's somebody that can get in the game quickly and get you buckets, create stuff for other people because of her aggressiveness. But the fact that she doesn't get any run, and it teases us so bad because you give her these 6 minutes and she gives you these 7 points, and you like, oh my God.
We got highlights
so
now.
you telling me if she would have got 12, she'd have 14?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
or more.
Yeah.
Or more, because of she's driving in, she's getting the contact. You wonder what the points in the paint would look like. You start to wonder if she could have had 7 to 10 free throws scored in the game. You know what I mean? So I truly believe that, and honestly, I want to see Zaya get back in her bag.
Yeah.
I want to see her confidence be through the roof again. As we've seen, Ray last year didn't play a whole bunch. At the beginning of the season, she wasn't playing a whole bunch. Now, every time she in the game,
she trying to get them up.
Man, she putting up the shots. She blocking shots. She getting steals. She's driving into the paint and being athletic. So it's just, I want to see Zaya get that same kind of opportunity, because it looks like she's been putting in the work. She's been silently waiting her turn. And you wanna see what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, and and at the end of the day, as much as we want to get on Coach Kurt Miller for all of this, players, you have to play.
Yeah.
You have to come out here and work. And if you're coming out here and you getting these minutes, you have to be productive. That's what the game is about. Like, I look at basketball, period, and I say, coach is good. You have a good coach is going to help, of course, but it is about players showing up and playing good basketball offensively and defensively. And if you're getting minutes over a player like a Zaya Cook, who we believe that should play more, you got to show why you deserve those minutes. So at the end of the day, players have to play. You got to try to figure it out, and that's the issue. That's why this team continues to lose. They haven't won since the Olympic break. And you look at the schedule, and you're like, when will they win after this Olympic break? And that's the question. But, hey, we got to get ready. As always, we have Coach. We have a couple players after another tough loss. Sparks fans, just hold tight. It's going to be all right. But let's listen to what Coach and a couple players have to say.
Oops. Oh, my goodness, what's going on? I get the short chair. Look at it, I'm taller than that. What is this?
Who did that? Yeah, it's like a high chair. I don't know.
That is...
Permitted.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right, we'll get started with opening statements from Kurt, followed by questions for players only.
Another competitive close game with two teams obviously trying to establish an identity moving forward in our builds between the two teams. Our teams mirror each other in a lot of ways, defensive and offensive, philosophical approaches to the game. So wasn't surprised that it was a close game going into the fourth quarter. Disappointed with us in the fourth quarter. They only had 4 points off turnovers through the first 3 quarters and had 13 of their 26 points in the fourth quarter off turnovers. So turnovers were a big factor in the fourth quarter. Thought just some simple ball screens on the wing bothered us. But again, do you let your defense be affected by not making shots? And tonight we missed a lot of quality open looks, and we have to learn and grow through. Our defense can't suffer, and we got to keep competing when we're missing open shots. But again, we're just going to keep working and keep plugging. I thought Rakia had an unbelievable first half. We rode her a lot. We were only able to get her 3 or 4 shots in the second quarter or second half with them trying to take her out. And we've got to be able to make adjustments and continue to find her opportunities that way. But again, Rakia continues to step up and show, just the high level that she can play at that we saw in that first half.
All right, questions for players, Infanity?
Hey, DJ from Infanity TV. Quick question, just piggybacking right off of Coach Miller's talk about the turnovers tonight. What was the main factor for the turnovers? Was it physicality? Was it playmaking and defense? And the question can go for either player.
I think their pressure just kind of had us sped up. Even when we were on offense and we got wide open shots, we were kind of rushed. I know I rushed on a couple shots, so I think they just from the beginning were really aggressive and physical with us, and just really scrappy. They were tipping a lot of balls and stuff, and I think it just had us really sped up.
Hey, so this won't be for you, Rakia, Michael, Matthew here. Just for you to get off to that great start. Just kind of just talk us through the zone that you were in, and what do you think made it so tough for them, made it tough for you in the second half?
First half, I just saw it going in. I've been working on trying to be more efficient with my 3-ball and just taking the shots. Second half, the focus was, more on me a little bit, and there was still a couple shots that I felt like I was a little short on, but it is what it is.
David?
Hey, this question is for Azrae. As somebody who's won a championship in this league, and someone that's been on a couple different teams, just kind of what do you see in terms of, the kind of natural progression of a young team, because it seems like you guys have had a couple of games like this where, you manage to stay in it, for most of the game. And then the fourth quarter, things just kind of get away from you there, just kind of what do you see in terms of, how a young team progresses?
Yeah, I think it's in these type of years, it's a lot of growth happening. We have obviously, even before Cam got hurt, we had 2 rookies starting, and that's a lot of pressure on them. But it's a lot of experience for them as well. So it's good growth, but it's growing pains. We have to work through a lot of these things, and we have to find a way to close out games. And I think we're starting to see that. And we've been seeing that. We've been in a lot of games. It's not like we've gotten blown out a lot this season. We've been in a lot of close games, and we have to find ways to really lock in at the end and take advantage and really get the lead at the end. And we have a lot of newer players who haven't necessarily played this amount of minutes before. So I think it's just a lot of growing pains, but we're trying to build the right culture here. We're trying to do the right things, even though the results aren't necessarily coming out in wins. But I know it's important to build good habits, championship habits, and we're trying to do that every day. So the wins will come. We have to continue to grow and work through that and, stay in the gym and stay connected. But a lot of the stuff in the locker room and just different culture habits that we're trying to build are important for winning. And once the wins come, it'll make it even better that we've started to implement a lot of that stuff, even through all the losses.
Thank you.
Last question for players.
Question for both of you guys. With us celebrating the late great Kobe Bryant's birthday today, and then tomorrow in LA, it's Mamba Day. I just wanted to ask you, what type of inspiration on the court, or in life in general, has the life of Kobe Bryant brought to both of you?
Yeah, Kobe's one of the greatest players to ever play. So obviously we were all really impacted by his death. And I think just the way that he approached the game impacted so many people, just even for life. He was so serious about his craft, and we got to all witness that. So rest in peace to him and all the other people who died, but I mean, he's just one of the greatest players to ever play, and his discipline and his, you know, respect for the game just inspired all of us on and off the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay. That's chair.
Okay.
All right, questions for Kurt?
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infanity TV. My question to you tonight is, you know, how do you manage, as Rakia Jackson was just here, you can see that she's visibly disappointed in the results here, but you're working to coach to the future. You're giving her a chance and an opportunity to get some experience. How do you personally handle the disappointments and encouraging her that the winds and the sun is coming out tomorrow, in a sense?
Yeah, I think that obviously, you know, when we wake up tomorrow, she's going to realize that she played one heck of a first half. And she was, as she mentioned, some of the subtle things we've talked to her about this behind the scenes was not to hesitate. And at times, she's almost patient to a fault within her offensive game, and felt like she's had some opportunities to stay really aggressive early on her catches. And tonight she shot the ball with confidence as soon as she got it. And again, we were running a lot of actions and the ball was going through Rakia in that first half, and just had a tremendous half. We knew the adjustments were coming and the focus to them. They're a big congestion team in the paint. It was hard to get Rakia free in the paint in the second half. And then we got sped up in the fourth quarter, and we had multiple turnovers in transition. We got a little frantic as the score started to leak away from us, and we weren't able to truly play through Rakia. So you see that disappointment because she was having such a great game. But, you know, we just got to keep reminding her that don't let the offensive end affect the defensive end, and that even when she's not getting those shots because the defense is keen on her, she can go impact us at the defensive end. And that she's had a great growth since May at the defensive end. Still just got a long way to go. But, you know, it's really made strides at the defensive end. So just going to be positive with her. And she's such a big key for us headed into the future in this build.
Coach, when it comes to De'Erica, it seems like since the Olympic break, things have been like a little tougher for her. You know, she was dominating earlier in the year, looking like one of the top, 10 players in the league. Is it some of the fatigue from her doing so much early and playing the Olympics that's leading to this? Or are teams just kind of honing in more on her and trying to do as much as they can to take away her on the offensive end?
Yeah, I think obviously the numbers speak to game plans. And as we, anyone that looks at our film and watches us play and sees the stats, De'Erica is such an integral part of what we do, almost a double-double every night. She almost had another double-double tonight, and really we found it hard to find her any kind of space in the paint. They were sending multiple players at her. As soon as she caught the ball anywhere near the paint, they kind of really congested driving lanes where De'Erica can be good in driving lanes. So there was a concerted game plan against De'Erica, and she's earned that right. So, we just got to keep trying to put De'Erica in positions to be successful when those defensive game plans are centered around her, and keep doing that. Again, she still went 9 and 10, but we got to get her more shot selection, more shots. And we got to continue to get her in the space that she can find success. Tonight, though, it was a night where I thought De'Erica could have had a big assist total night, and it just didn't materialize because we missed so many open shots. So they got the ball out of De'Erica's hands, but we couldn't take advantage of making open shots. Again, we took 27 threes, and I'm not sure how many were contested. There were a ton of open threes tonight. We just didn't have a great night shooting the ball.
Thank you.
Ray?
Hey, Coach Ray Murray from Sporting Tribune. I probably should have asked this last game, but what was the thought process on putting Steph Talbot in the starting lineup?
Yeah, again, Steph is a big time warrior for us and such a glue person. She plays both ends. She's one of our best defenders and can guard multiple positions and is physical. And we can run multiple schemes with her because she can switch on the post players and really battle. So love her motor, love her physicality, love her ability to play at both ends. She's unselfish. She doesn't need shots. She's been one of our per minute play, higher assist people. She does a good job within our offenses of getting balls to the right players. So, we wanted to take a look at being bigger and look at that. She's coming off the Olympics, where she's also Australia's glue player and hard player for Australia to take off the floor. So, again, she missed some shots tonight that she's capable of making, but again, she does so many of the intangible things that we like.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
So we're back. We just heard from Coach. We heard from Azure, heard from Rakia. Something interesting that stood out to me was when it came to De'Erica. Because I looked at tonight, she was 4th, I believe, in shot attempts. Where I'm like, looking at those numbers and saying, how the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
She's someone that should be shooting around 16, 18 shots a game, outside, inside, however you can make it happen. But Coach talked about it not being so much as fatigue, just teams are like really honing in on her and saying, we're going to take away space from her and making other people have to do something. And he's right. When you're getting wide open shots and she's making a pass and you're missing them, shooting 6 for 27 from 3 when a lot of them are wide open, you can't blame anyone but yourself missing those shots.
Yeah.
And that's to the Stephanie Talbots, the Azarees who are going to get open threes, the Kia Nurses, and players like that. If you're open, you got to knock down these shots, and that's going to open it up for De'Erica. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. I agree with that. I think the scouting reports for the LA Sparks must just, the first page should say, shut down De'Erica.
Facts.
And period. Because she's been playing at MVP levels that we seen. We like, man, she's top. She was top
crazy.
3. Like it's going crazy. But then the Sparks, started to lose a lot more. So if you have the All-Star who's on the team, who's also the Olympian that's on the team, you got to know that players are going to be gunning for her. And then shutting down her in the paint is crazy because she's known for going after her own rebounds and getting putbacks, getting fouled on those putbacks, having and-one opportunities. And when that's taken away and you have to force the ball other places and you can't convert and there's no one to get the rebound, you just kind of lose there and you're not getting any stops.
Yeah, and, De'Erica has to find ways to go and get those buckets, because Asia Wilson is a former teammate of hers who teams try to take her away, and she still finds new and unique ways yearly to continue to attack. So that's somewhere I feel that De'Erica has to grow. But we heard from Rakia, and Rakia, who started off so fast, and Coach mentioned, like, hey, we kind of took the ball away from her where we should have kind of force feed her. Yeah, I think it's that time. It's about that time you force feed this girl and say, hey, you are going to, it's you and De'Erica. Yeah. You two are going to average about 15 to 20 shots a night. Get them up. For her, it's for her to find new ways to score. It's going to be catch and shoot, being a slasher, the stuff that she do with the ball, maybe giving her more opportunity to handle the ball as well. Like, she should really use this time to say, I'm trying to develop on the court during my rookie year to really help herself improve next year, because seeing that first half, I was like, whoa. Yeah. And then from it to go from that to whoa to no, because it's only 1 point, it's really weird. What would you like to see for Rakia to do to make that first half spread into that second half as well?
I think Rakia has to have many more moments like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talk about the rookies playing and getting more experience and letting the young players just get it out of their system and figure out a way.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart to see her so disappointed because she had a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
But also, too, I think she's going to channel that frustration. She's going to remember what it was like to go crazy in that first half and then the teams adjust and say, all right, now we got another plan and you got to just change on the fly. So I think her living through this over and over again on her rookie season, as somebody who likes to win, you can tell by her disappointment that she's not.
She wasn't losing much.
She wasn't losing much, and she was getting that burn. So it's like now she's in the opportunity, and she know what she can do. We know what she can do. That first half, we see what she can do. So when that's taken away from you, and you almost there over and over and over again, she's gonna get in the lab this fall.
And Coach mentioned a good part of it, defense.
Yeah,
you know, her on the defense end, she's grown and she needs to continue to grow. Maybe that's where she can go and get a deflection. And get a steal, to get a layup, to kind of get herself back going again, to help that 17-point performance become a 30-point performance.
For sure.
Because you get those easy baskets, running the floor, you know, doing stuff.
Couple more steals.
I feel with the Sparks team, period, that not enough players flash. Like, Ray gives you some of that here and there where she flashes to the ball, but a lot of times they just kind of sit still and they wait for the ball instead of saying, man, I'm going to go here, try to get the ball. If not, then I can get back out to the spot that may be open. But, yeah, it was just another tough loss for the Sparks. 80-74. It looked like they had a chance. They come up short once again. Of course, we have to give our players of the game. I think we're both going the same way, but I'll let you go first. DJ, who you got?
I got Rakia Jackson. Even though she looked disappointed, even though she only had a few points in the second half because they shut her down, I still want to congratulate her on showing up and showing out in that first half of the game and continuing to create offense for herself. Like Coach said, continuing to grow. She wasn't starting at the beginning of the season. She lost Cam. She had to step into different roles. She's learning the playbook at the 3 and the 4. She's continuing to give effort and to try new things and to grow every single game. So I know she's having a rough go at it, but she deserves all the congratulations today.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Rakia as well. Just a baller. She had a crazy, you know, first half. This is a lesson learned that the basketball game is not one half. It's two halves. So hopefully she can find a way to take that energy from that first half and spread it throughout this season and stay aggressive, move without the ball to when the ball's not finding you, you find the ball to try to make things happy. And, you know, as we celebrate, you know, the late, great Kobe Bryant's birthday, and tomorrow is Mamba Day, the 24th. He was a guy that knew, hey, I'm going to go get it. When you try to take me away, I'm going to find a way. So the way that he was able to inspire and do all that stuff, Rakia needs to lock into that Mamba mentality and figure out, how do I continue to be this player? Because that first half player, I think she can be that player for a full game, for a full season. Perhaps she just has to reach in, you know, to bring that dog out of her and finding unique ways to go and get buckets, because she's a special piece for this team going forward. And if she can do what I believe she can do, the Sparks has a special player on their hands. So that's our player of the game, Rakia Jackson. Next up, Sunday, they got a 1 p.m. game. They got the Dallas Wings. Another
battle of the bottom.
Battle of the bottom, where, you know, you're hoping the Sparks can find a way. Do you think the Sparks can take that game?
I think the Sparks can take that game. I mean, we got to strategically think about it. Odyssey Sims was just one of their hardship players. So we got a little bit of an advantage because she was just behind enemy lines.
What's going on.
Okay. But also, like, Satu is playing for the Wings. Fresh off the Olympic break, is back in the game. All right. Arike, she could go off for 40 points at any time. Ticking time bomb. We don't know what's going to happen there. So I think the Sparks will have to make a strategy around limiting those two players. Also, Maddie Segrist is another player that you got to kind of look for on the Dallas Wings. So if they can, I think it's going to be more coaching that we got to worry about in this matchup, because we're pretty equally yoked at where we at.
Yeah, and this is a game, hopefully we see a lot more Zaya, because every
From
time
the beginning.
she see Enrique, she's like, hey, what's up? Like, I think I could do some stuff similar to you if I get the opportunity.
Yep.
So hopefully we see some more Zaya. Hopefully Rakia can put together a full game of what she just did in the first half tonight. And, you know, we just see De'Erica get back to it to where she can get back into that groove and do what she can to try to pick up that one MVP vote. But Spark fans, we thank you so much once again for tuning in to what we had to bring. Man, it's another opportunity on Sunday for the Sparks to try to pick up their first win after the Olympic break. From Michael and DJ and Infanity TV studios, we thank you, and we see you on Sunday. Go Sparks!